Many people may think that being a nurse is an easy life. They work 3 days a week and get paid well. Some see a nurse living a fulfilling and rewarding life helping others. Some nurses beg to differ. Like most working individuals, nurses have their good and bad days. Pete has been a registered nurse for the last 8 years. He feels that there are two sides to being a nurse whom many people do not know. A life as a nurse can be challenging and rewarding. It takes a special kind of individual to become one. When Pete was certified as a nurse, he had to make a big decision. He had asked himself which area of nursing would be the best fit for him. As a nurse, there were alternatives and so many choices at hand. It would not be an easy one to make. He got his first real job working as a nurse at Swedish Medical Hospital in the medical surgery unit. Pete spent the first 2 years at Swedish as a nurse intern. He liked the job at first, but in the next few years he noticed it was not a fit for him. People were treated like a piece of meat. Pete found that it was very trying to deal with the patient's family. A single family would think that he was the only nurse assigned to that patient. In his mind, he was thinking that he would like to give more time to that one patient, but there were so many other patients that needed care during his shift. Pete wanted to continue to help people, but needed to make a change from the medical surgery unit. There were so many opportunities out there for nurses. Pete applied for a nurse's position with Denver Health's detention center. Pete felt that this would be a really nice change in his career. He had a chance to serve the underserved population, and it was a chance for him to give care to those who had little care. It was a big change from Swedish Hospital. In the Denver Detention Center, he worked with a population of 2,500 prisoners, acute and ill patients. Pete also cared for the most medically unstable prisoners. The general population had different security levels. The prisoners were either in lockdown or in open pods. No matter the security levels, working at the Denver Detention Center had a tense atmosphere. Pete did not know what was worse, working with the prisoners or the officers working in the prison. The inmates resented nurses because the nurses were part of the system. The officers were also suspicious of the nurses because they were caring for the prisoners too much. The nurses were invading the officers' territory. There was supposed to be that distance and space between them and the inmate. In both cases, a nurse was in a bad spot. Being a nurse has its good points. The nurse can have a really excellent shift working 3 days a week, and nurses are paid well. Working as a nurse, there are memorable patients. The patients who are very grateful and appreciate the work that you do. The patients who know that you are there to care for them and do the best for them. You have great interactions with some doctors who take the time to teach nurses. It was a good thing because as a nurse, you are always learning. You get to learn a new skill set. It's not always the same old routine. There are also the bad points of being a nurse. Not all the doctors are great to work with, and they can be condescending and mean. Working in a hospital is like working in corporate America. You are consistently being told you need to work more with less. Management is constantly squeezing more patients onto your shift. It makes it very hard to give the same care to all of them. It takes a special person to deal with the bad situations. It can be disappointing and frustrating. A nurse needs to find a way to deal with that. Pete finds it very helpful by taking the time to read, walking his dogs, keeping mentally and physically fit. There is always that option to move around to a different area in nursing. To become a nurse and the life of a nurse is not easy. Those choosing nursing as a career need to know that there are both good and bad sides to this profession. It's a profession that many people are not capable of doing. A person needs to have the dedication to get the proper education. A person needs to be able to give the patients the suitable care and attention they need. Most importantly, a person needs to take care of themselves so that they can take care of others.